Everyone keeps asking the same question. Is the AI bubble going to burst? Is all this hype around artificial intelligence just another dot-com mania waiting to crash the economy? Of course, that's a valid concern. If the bubble pops, investors lose money. Pension funds take a hit. We might get a recession. For people who need that money to survive, that pain is real. But I think there's an even more important question. Because the scariest outcome isn't if the AI bubble bursts, it's if it doesn't. See, when people talk about a bubble, they assume the price is fake, that these companies are overvalued based on hype and false promises, about AI companies making deals with each other that artificially increase their valuations. And look, that concern isn't baseless. But ask yourself, why are the richest people on Earth betting trillions of dollars on this? They aren't doing it because they love ChatGPT. They aren't doing it out of curiosity. They're betting on efficiency. And in the corporate world, efficiency is a polite synonym for firing people. At its core, AI isn't just a new product. It's a new way to produce value. The promise is simple and incredibly powerful. Do the same work humans do, faster, cheaper, around the clock, and at a scale no workforce ever could. The promise of AI isn't just to help you write emails faster. The promise, the specific outcome these investors are betting their fortunes on, is to do your job faster, cheaper, and without needing health insurance, breaks, or sleep. And here's the thing that makes this even more dangerous. We don't live in a system designed to maximize human well-being. We live in a system designed to maximize shareholder value. This is late-stage capitalism at its purest, where a company's success isn't measured by how many people it employs or how well it pays them, or whether communities thrive around it. It's measured by one thing. Can you make the line go up? Can you cut costs, increase margins, deliver returns to investors? If a company fires 5,000 employees and replaces them with an algorithm that costs pennies, their stock price goes up. The CEO gets a bonus. Shareholders celebrate. The system is working exactly as designed. And if you're a company whose legal obligation is to maximize profits, why wouldn't you bet on AI? Not because you hate your workers, but because the system rewards you for replacing them. The system says, eat or be eaten. If you don't adopt AI, your competitor will, and they'll undercut your prices, take your market share, and leave you behind. It's not a choice. It's survival under capitalism. This isn't just about cool tech gadgets. It's about a consolidation of wealth we haven't seen since the Gilded Age. Let's look at the numbers. Take nvidia. They make the chips that power this revolution. Their market cap recently grew so large, it became worth more than the entire GDP of Germany. Think about that. One single company is now valued higher than the entire economic output of the largest nation in Europe, more than the work of 84 million people combined. That's not just a bubble. That's imbalance. And it's getting worse because the few people who own these AI companies, who control the infrastructure, who hold the patents, they're not just getting rich. They're accumulating wealth at a rate that makes the robber barons look modest. So let's go back to the bubble. If the bubble doesn't burst, it means these companies were right. It means the technology does work. It means they can replace human labor at a scale that justifies a $4 trillion price tag. If that happens, the stock market won't crash. It will soar. The line on the graph will go up. But here's the awkward reality. The stock market is a measure of corporate profit, not societal well-being. When productivity goes up, but labor becomes obsolete, who benefits? History has already given us the blueprint. Every major leap in productivity was supposed to free us. Fewer hours, more leisure, a better quality of life. Instead, we got wage stagnation and precarious gig work. Productivity exploded over the last 50 years. Corporate profits soared, but wages barely moved. The wealth didn't trickle down, it concentrated. And with AI, it'll concentrate faster and higher than ever before. So, be worried about the AI bubble popping, but be terrified of what it means if it doesn't. While we pretend the economic rules don't need to change, because if robots do the work, who gets the paycheck? If productivity explodes, but labor's obsolete, how do people survive? If AI actually reaches AGI, artificial general intelligence, that can do most human labor better than we can, the question isn't whether we'll have abundance, it's who that abundance belongs to. The answer isn't stopping the technology. At this point, that won't happen. It's changing who benefits from it. This is where concepts like universal basic income stop being radical ideas and start becoming mathematical necessities for the system to even function. Because without redistribution, without fundamentally rethinking how wealth flows in our society, we aren't heading for a recession. We're heading for a high-tech Middle Ages, a world where a tiny elite owns the machines that do everything, and everyone else is left scrambling for whatever scraps remain. The real danger isn't finding out AI is overhyped and overvalued. It's finding out that it isn't, that it can fulfill exactly what corporations are betting on. It's AI succeeding while we cling to an economic system that was never designed to share. Because the real question isn't, will the hype collapse? It's this, who benefits if it doesn't? If you want to hear more about how redistribution could work through UBI, watch this video right here. Don't forget to watch both parts, UBI Explained and the hidden benefits of UBI. Watch those next, because if the bubble doesn't burst, we're going to need a plan B.